Hi everybody, thanks for watching. Thank you for joining me in this little short tutorial on how to use Acuity scheduling, which will hopefully make our lives a little bit easier and clients' lives a little bit easier for signing up for our classes, registering for programs, and paying through our website for everybody across the board. So this is the main homepage. It's acuityscheduling.com. If you Google it, it's like the third or fourth result. It's Acuity Scheduling. Don't go to acuity.com. That's a completely different website. And you're going to sign in using Helene's credentials. And then once you get signed in, I'm going to show you how to create your own credentials. But we're going to log in using hverdial at Center4C.com. And once I have Helene preview this video, I'll make sure that when she sends it out to you, she sends it out with her password too. Because there's a bug in the room and it just freaked me out a little bit. Sorry. Hopefully it will stop flying around. So anyway, when she sends this video out to you, she'll send the credentials out because I saved them and I don't remember exactly what the password was. So, sorry about that. But again, you'll get the credentials when we send you out the video. So I'm going to log in. And this is your main homepage. Actually, what you end up seeing will probably look like this, where you'll see today. But you can toggle very easily between the today view, the week view, or the month view. And because of who I am as a person, I need to be able to see the entire month. I like visually seeing the whole month. This is what I do when I plan out my schedule at school, when I'm planning out what I'm teaching, when I'm, putting appointments in my calendar. I need to see the entire month. So you can see already from this main page that there's already one class scheduled for Friday the 3rd. This is from November. So this was my restorative yoga class. But if we toggle into December, you can see that there's one class scheduled for Friday the 1st. And there it is again, my restorative yoga class. And if I click on that, I can edit, I can delete. And if you're under Helene's credentials, you'll be able to edit and delete anybody else's classes. If you're under your own credentials, you're going to see a lot less on the left-hand side. There's less tabs, there's less access. You will not be able to delete and edit my classes. So you can see if there's anybody signed up. I can add an attendee. I can add people to my class. I can register them. But the hope is that people can register themselves for this entire website. So we're going to come back to this main page in a moment. So you can see there's an appointment button, there's a block button, there's add a class button. But what we're going to do first is go over here to business settings, and you're going to click on manage users. And you can see that I'm in here already, and then Kim is in here as well. And if you're going to add yourself, you're going to click on new user. You're going to add your email address here, which becomes your username. You're going to add your password here. So make sure you write that down somewhere important. And then you're going to choose what it is you have access to. I have access to the yoga room because that's where I teach my restorative classes, whatever space it is you use. So if you're a massage therapist or a Reiki master, whatever space you use, you're going to select those buttons and then click add user. And then you will show up in this list as well. Once you are done adding yourself, don't sign out and sign in as yourself yet. You're going to stay under Helene's credentials for now. And you can see that there's a lot of options over here. But again, this is only under Helene's profile because she is the subscriber. She's in charge. So she has access to more information. So you can see that you can create an intake form, you can do appointment types, you can do packages and gift certificates, and then go back to the availability and calendar. So we're going to go to appointment types, and this is important. So you can see I have my restorative yoga class here. I can go in and edit that. But what I did was I added a restorative yoga class for 2018 because as of January, I'm not only changing the time, but I'm also changing the price. So it was 90 minutes I made it $120, and it was $16 and I made it $20. I have it for the yoga room. I can add a specific color if I want to. I like blue. And I think that just means that the text is going to show up that way on the calendar. And then I want to make it public so clients can book this on my scheduling page. And then I'm going to update that appointment type or add that appointment type. And there it is in the list. And I can always go back in and edit this or duplicate it, whatever the case may be. But this appointment type, when you sign in under your name, this is what you're going to choose. So however many appointment types you have. So if you had a Wednesday night restorative yoga class, you would add that in. And if that was an hour and a half, you would add that in. And then if you had a Kundalini class that you also taught, you would add that in separately. So each type of class that you choose gets its own appointment type. Because all you're going to do when you sign into your profile with your username is you're going to choose the appointment type and then the date and the time. And that's it. It's not going to allow you to edit the appointment type. For the most part, this website is fairly user-friendly. This is the only thing I don't love about it, that it has you make the appointment type and then lets you schedule it. So it's almost like you have to have this pre-form class, this little already created situation that you then just plug into the calendar. Sort of makes sense, but it's not my favorite thing in the whole wide world. And you can only edit and add appointment types under Helene's profile. So please make sure that however many services or types of classes you offer, you add them here. And you can see there's my blue. I chose orange for that one. I don't know why. And then my blue. So whatever color you decide to choose, I would be consistent with the color. So I'll be orange. And then I'll update and then it'll show up as orange. And then you can always come back in here and delete the class. So after my December 3rd class, I believe it is, or December 3rd done this Friday? It's December 1st. So after my December 1st restorative yoga class, I'm going to come back in here and delete that because I'm not going to use this appointment type anymore. I'm going to switch and only do this appointment type from now on. So that is how you make your own username, and that is how you make your own appointment types. So now you can feel free to go in and mess around with creating an intake form if you're someone who needs, like a a massage therapist who needs a little more information from a client. You can create a form here for them to fill out before the appointment. You can do gift certificates in here and they can pay through the website. There's the email settings and the payment settings, which I wouldn't touch just because these are the emails that get sent out to clients once they confirm an appointment. There's a reminder appointment. There's a cancellation, rescheduling, blah, 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 blah. And then the payment settings are across the board for everybody. The only thing that I would possibly change is there's a place where it allows people to cancel within 12 hours or not cancel within 12 hours of an appointment. Now, of course, now I can't find that specific setting. Let's go back into appointment types. Sorry, guys. I'm actually going to pause for a second until I find the thing I'm looking for that I want to show to you. And here we go, we're back. So I went under availability and calendars. And if I click on my space, the yoga room, whatever space you use, if you go into settings, we're not going to change the calendar name. You can add your email here. If you also teach yoga in that same space or teach Tai Chi in that same space, I would add a phone number because that's going to be important for contact information. Replies from clients will be sent to Helene. We can always change that, but it makes sense for now, is what I'm going to say to that. So this allows prevents clients from scheduling new appointments less than 12 hours in advance and canceling less than 12 hours in advance. If I were a yoga teacher, which I am, I would change that, because if somebody wants to sign up an hour in advance or 30 minutes in advance, I would allow that if the class wasn't full. If somebody wants to cancel that day, like a couple hours before, because they have a family emergency or they've gotten sick and they don't want to spread their germs to the rest of us, which I also appreciate, I would allow them to cancel within, I'd say, probably 3 hours before class starts. So I would change that. All you have to do is click on change and allow those changes to go into effect for the room. And that's something I think that practitioners who share a space should have a conversation about. So I would talk to Carrie about her feelings about that, and whoever else teaches in our space, I would have a conversation. If you're in the massage therapy room, I know that you wouldn't want a client to make an appointment within 30 minutes. So that is something I would have a conversation with across the board with the people who share your space. So I'm not going to change anything here. And I'm going to go back to the main page just so you can see, how to add an appointment once you've done that. So I'm actually going to, yep, there we go. I clicked on appointments and it brings me back to the main homepage that we saw when we signed in. I'm actually going to log out and log in under me. And now that I'm logged in under me, you can see that there is significantly less for me to look at here on the left. And that's fine. I'm comfortable with that. I'm going to go into January and try to schedule my class. So all I'm going to do is click on Add Appointment. I'm going to go in and choose my appointment type, which is Restorative Yoga for 2018. And then I'm going to go into January. And for some reason, it's not letting me choose January 5th. I'm not entirely sure why. It'll let me choose January 3rd. I got to look in to see why it's not letting me choose January 5th. But let's pretend it's January 3rd. I can select the time, which is also restricting me on. So there might be calendar settings that I might need to go in and change. And then I can add a client name, but I'm not going to do that because it's a group class. And then once I'm done, I can schedule the class. It's trying to schedule it as an appointment, and that's not really what I want. So we might need to go back through and take a look at adding a class versus an appointment type. So, if you ever have any questions about this website, it's fairly user-friendly. I am not tech support. I am not a webmaster, but I end up always being the tech support for my hallway, wherever I teach. Teachers always ask me to figure out why their projector is not working or how to uninstall programs. So please feel free to shoot me an email should you have any questions. It's katie.dollard, DOLLARD, @gmail.com. And my hope is to get us all on board with this, and to start to use it and to streamline the way that we have clients sign up for classes. Thanks so much.